Good morning, guys. It's Nick from PS. Thank you once again for coming back to my channel. I really do appreciate it. As ever, if you do like what I say, please punch that like button. Please subscribe to the channel, and really do please ask me any questions you want to ask. Drop any comments in the comment section. Today's video is actually in response to somebody asking a question just a couple of days ago. Les, this one's for you. In terms of what we're doing here today. The title of the video is 5,000 XRP can be life changing or something like that. I've not decided the full title yet. But actually, the main topic of this video is that any amount can actually be life changing. You could also apply this to crypto as well in any form you like, but I focus on XRP on this channel. The conversation, the question, the discussion I had was about XRP, so I just thought I'd bring this one up. As ever, before I get into that, my name's Nick. I am a financial advisor. I'm not your financial advisor, though. I couldn't possibly begin to give you financial advice without knowing your intricate details, doing a fact find, and without making sure you're 100% aware I am, in fact, giving financial advice. So, up until that point, anything I say or do in this video is just a bloke talking on the internet, sharing an opinion, hoping you can gain some value from what I say and absolutely not financial advice. So getting into today's video, the markets are moving in a positive way, which is always nice to see. We've seen Bitcoin have that rally up to 65. If you follow the technical analysis guys, the chart guys, there's not so much resistance after this level. I think once we break through this and have another push on, we'll probably push to all-time highs for Bitcoin. Looking down through the charts, everything's up, isn't it? Ethereum 2633, Bitcoin's at 65. Going through BNB 597, Solana 155. XRP straggling in its weekly growth, I suppose, only 0.86%, but at 59 cents, that's a higher mark than we've seen it for a while. If we scroll down here, most of the coins, it's a sea of green on that 7-day chart, isn't it? Casper, the first one I've come across that's down. So everything's moving in the right direction. What's really interesting, take a look over at the Fear and Greed Index, top right side of the chart. It's at 48. It's okay, it's neutral. It's been in fear for a while now, but 48 isn't even that 50% mark. It's not even halfway between fear and greed. It's give or take halfway, but it's not even at that halfway point yet. There are more people fearful of this market than greedy right now. So we've got a long way to go is the point I'm getting at there. So what I wanted to get into today was talking about that 5,000 number or any number really. I've done a little spreadsheet. It's actually one I've used in the past. But the reason I wanted to do this is because people have come to me and said, well, I haven't got enough money in XRP or in any crypto really to be or to see life-changing gains. And I just wanted to address that because, as you know, I work in the traditional finance space predominantly. The crypto stuff is more a hobby of mine rather than something professional. It's something I do for myself, but I'm not allowed to do for my clients. And what I've done for a long time is help my clients to become financially free, financially independent, have the ability to retire, to make money, to create a second income stream. I basically am here to help people improve their financial standing. And what I often find in the crypto space is that people talk about that phrase financial freedom or life-changing wealth, and there's two different concepts. One is that phenomenal amount of money we all talk about. What we really mean when we say it is I want my crypto portfolio to make me a multi-millionaire, to walk in, punch my boss in the teeth and never go to work again, right? That's kind of what we're all in it for. We all want to have that extra level of freedom. And not me personally. I am my own boss now. I'm basically an independent. I'm a family office, but I have a couple of employees, but I work for myself. So I'm not going to punch myself in the teeth. And I love my job. If you put me $20 million in the bank right now, I'd still do my job. I do love what I do. It doesn't take me many hours a day anymore. I've kind of achieved that level of financial freedom to a certain degree. Not boasting, not bragging. It's just where I am in life. I've been around a bit longer than most of you guys. I've been working for 20 years now. I've been offshore earning good money in a very tax efficient way for a while. I still need to work. I could probably live a poor retirement if I gave up everything right now. But I get paid quite well for the hours I put in. So I play golf twice a week. I work about 4 or 5 hours a day, and I wouldn't change that if I had $1 billion in the bank. I love my job. Hopefully that's something some of you guys might be able to attain with this crypto rally, right? I'm going to show you a couple of ways on how that might work. So in terms of where we stand, just getting back to it again, we've all seen this rich list before, but just in case you haven't, I often hear people say to me, oh, I've only got X 100 XRP, X thousand XRP. I haven't got enough. Take a look at this. If you haven't seen this before, if you've got 3,000 XRP, I'm looking at the bottom column on the bottom left now. I'll just highlight down there where you can see it. 3,000 XRP, well, 3,031.548,254 to be exact. You're in the top 10% of holders anywhere in the world. So I often hear people go, oh, I've only got 2,000 XRP. I'm tiny. Well, you're not as tiny as maybe you think. The majority of XRP holders on this table here, if you take a look, there's an awful lot with between 0 to 5,000. There's a few, you know, if we go up to maybe the 50,000 mark, but there's an awful lot. The interesting one is if you take a look here, if you've got 20,000 XRP, you're in the top 3% of holders anywhere in the world. 31,000 above you in the top 2%. I'm looking here now on this bottom chart again. So we're in a position where you don't need as many XRP as you perhaps need. And that's all this one is getting at, just so you can work out where you fall in that global holders list. You're probably higher up in the rankings than you actually thought. So then I want to get onto this one. This is a spreadsheet I designed. It took me about 3 minutes, about a month or so ago. Talking about exit strategy more than anything else. Ignore most of it. I've highlighted column E, column G in yellow, E in yellow, G in green. Then I've highlighted that 5,000 XRP point in blue going across the columns on the row. Because that's the number I'm going to talk about predominantly. 1,600 I popped in there for you, Les, so hopefully that helps you to work out where you're at. But realistically speaking, I'm creating this so that you guys can take a look and look down the spreadsheet on that A column. It shows you 1, 1,600, 5, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 100, 150, 200, all the way up to a million XRP. If you've got a million XRP, then quite frankly, in fact, that's $1 billion XRP. I think I've got at the bottom. You don't need me if you're down there. But realistically speaking, it's just a case of giving you an idea to gauge where you're at. And then I'm going to show you how even a small amount can still be life-changing. Maybe not in that way we're talking about the multi-million dollars in your bank overnight, but in a different way, in a normal way. So let's take a look at this then. So I'm assuming a price right now. Current price is 59 cents, give or take. I'm assuming $1. Actually, for this purpose, I'm going to call it a pound. The unit doesn't really matter. The reason I'm going to call it a pound is because the example I've given you as a future investment strategy involves pounds rather than dollars. But again, one is one. Convert it to the currency of your choice: pounds, dollars, euros, Australian dollars, Canadian, whatever it is you thinking. Looking at that 5,000 chart then, so if you've got 5,000 XRP, and XRP eventually is worth $1, you're going to be left, or a pound, whatever the number might be. Okay, you're going to get $5 grand out. I'm going to tell you now, 5,000 isn't life changing. It might be weekend changing. It might be a nice holiday for you and your spouse. It might be, you know, a weekend golfing with the boys. It could be a new car, or second-hand car probably. But whatever 5,000 is, that's not going to be life changing. But we don't think we're going to finish at $1. I've done videos multiple times before explaining how high I think XRP can go and why. I don't want to get into that. The video will go on for hours now, so we'll try and cover every topic in one go. But let's just assume we're all aware of the fact that XRP ought to go higher than $1. Let's use $5 just to be simple, just to change the figures for you there. So $5, 5,000 XRP. We can all do the math. So you've got $25,000 coming out, or pounds, whatever the number might be. Is that life changing? No. Might be year changing for some people. It might mean you can put a deposit down on a house and take a mortgage rather than paying rent. It might mean you buy a new car that gets you opens the door to a new job, or it could be very, very slightly changed. But again, none of us really think XRP is going to stop at $5. That would be not even twice through the all-time high. and I expect it to go multiple times through the all-time high this bull run. Maybe not as high as I want it to go this bull run, but that's a different question for a different day as well. So going back to this future price, then I'm going to put in here $50. Do I think it will achieve $50 this bull run? I'm not sure. I'm not ruling it out. I don't think it's out of the question. If you read most analysts, most technical analysis guys, most chart guys out there, everyone thinks it's going to go up. Even the guys that don't like XRP think it's going to go up. Everybody thinks it's going to go up. But do they think it's going to go up this high? It's a mixed bag. Some people think $5. Some people think $50. Some people think like $10,000. I don't think we're hitting $10,000 this time. I think we could hit 50. I wouldn't rule it out. I'm not going to put my neck on the line and say we will hit 50, but I wouldn't rule it out. It's not beyond the realms of reality to hit $50 this time. I think perhaps more likely $20. Depends when that utility kicks in. I also think that when utility kicks in, it won't necessarily go with the cycles. So I think to say we won't hit $50 this time, we'll hit 20, then cash out, let the world drop around you, buy back in, and we'll hit 50 in 4 years' time is inaccurate as well, because I think more likely this is the last time XRP will follow the traditional bull cycles, or at least to the degree in which it's followed them so far. I think the utility kicks in to the point that XRP begins to benefit from utility, maybe not as much as we all think it will eventually in the next couple of years. So I think this might be the last time XRP is so easily predictable. So getting back to this, let's use that $50 for now, though, because I think we can all also agree that in the grand scheme, most of us think it will eventually be worth more than $50. So I'm going to use this just to prove my point about how $50, how 5,000 XRP can still be life-changing. So getting back to that column then, $50 or £50 in this case, I'm going to talk about pounds, but same, depends where you live. Future value 250,000. Now let's assume at this point in time, for whatever reason, that's your get out of jail day. That's your day when you say, I've served my time, I've had my money invested long enough, I want out of this game, I want to take all the risk off the table and sail off into the sunset with my wealth. 250,000, most people would say, is not a significant life-changing amount of money, and I'm here to argue differently. People come to me with an inheritance of 250,000, and I make sure they retire with a multi-million-pound portfolio. I've done that. I've got the history to prove that. I'm not going to prove that on a video here because it's taking people's personal situations and spreading it all around the World Wide Web. I'm not going to do that, but I have done that. Most financial advisors who are worth their weight, worth their salt, they've all done that for people. But just using this one so you can see it in real-time figures, $250,000. I'm going to jump onto something here, which is a tool I've used over the years. This is a property investment scheme. I'm not going to go into the grand details here. I'm just going to scroll by so you can see the kind of things that this is the brochure we send out, basically. And what this company basically do is they allow you to buy property with a small down payment and paying in monthly, or just with a lump sum. They have various stages of development. So the typical solution would be you'd say, great, I want to buy a property. I'm going to buy it off plan. Over the 2 years whilst you're building it, I'll pay you £2,000, £3,000 a month, £1,000 a month, depends on the project. And by the time that's done, I'm going to have paid a decent deposit. I'm going to have enough lump sum there to then take a mortgage, move a tenant in. The tenant's rent will repay my mortgage, and the properties cost me very, very little money. I'll just scroll through so you can see a bit more. They're not, they're not the Crown Plaza in the middle of Manhattan. These are working, nicely finished, low to middle class, I would even say, homes. First-time renters, first-time professionals, people in, left college, just started a new job, looking for a nice 1-2 bedroom place to stay. This is the sort of thing, that's the sort of tenant we're looking at. And you get a couple of £1,000 a month in rent. Couple £100 a month in rent above your mortgage repayment. You'll make some money on them. But this, as an idea, so this place is worth $135,000 for a 1-bedroom apartment. Again, this is in pounds, but it could be in dollars. It could be anything. Might be a bit more in dollars, but again, this is £135,000. You pay a deposit down, you pay monthly deposits up to 34,000, and then, which by the way is about £1,800 a month, £1,900 a month. If anyone's interested in this, drop me a comment and I'll get back to you on it. I can talk to you in more detail about it. You don't have to be a Brit to buy these things; they're open to the global market. But that's going off tangent. This is purely to show you where we stand. The amount you would need to pay down in the first 24 months bill period on this is about, give or take, £50,000. What are we talking? 14 and a half, bit more down there. Let's call it 16 plus 33 is 40, about 50,000, give or take, isn't it? So about 50,000. A different way of doing it would be this way, which is a student accommodation place. So if any of you guys lived at college, this is the sort of thing. You get a bedroom, single bedrooms nowadays. They used to be dormitory rooms with 2 beds where you meet your college roommate day one. They don't work like that so much anymore. Single beds, you get normally a shared living room, shared kitchen, something like that. But this one, again, lovely place for students to live. You can see these videos, nice sort of open kitchen area. You get a bedroom like this, lovely views. These are an awful lot better than when I was at college. Trust me on that. Trust me on that. You can see here the pictures, the bedrooms, the games room, that kind of thing. Students want to live in these places. They do. You know, lovely, lovely place for students to live. These ones, 100,000 exactly is what you'd pay down. Again, they go in monthly deposits rather than a mortgage. You don't take a mortgage on this one, but you would go monthly deposits 2,500 until you got to your 90. With a 10% deposit, you paid it off. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about using this money as a lump sum. You could throw in 100,000 of that 250 by one of these. If we do the maths, if we're assuming it's £50 on that spreadsheet here, you're getting 250,000 out. You can put the deposit down on this one to the tune of 50, allow your tenant to move in with a mortgage and allow the rent to repay the mortgage, and you've got a 140 or 135,000 pound property paid off for 50,000 of your own money, because the rent would pay the rest. Yeah, you've got 2 of these ones at 100,000 each, give or take. So suddenly you're in a point where this one down here pays an annual or monthly rent of 716. There are a couple of fees, but let's say you're coming out net with about £600. This one here, same, give or take, net £600. So you're in a position where you're going to be picking up, give or take, £1,800 a month, which, do the maths, is about £22,000 a year. Now, £22,000 a year isn't a staggering amount of money, but it's one hell of a pay rise for doing absolutely nothing, right? It's a hell of a pay rise for doing absolutely nothing. You also get the capital gain on these properties. So in the respect that you get the money every month coming in to boost your income, maybe you could retire on that much money a month. I live out here in Asia. My monthly bills, because of my work expenses and other things, are higher than that. But my net living expenses, yeah, take away the kids' school, and I could easily live on £1,800 a month. It's about $2,400 a month. If my rent here is about $700, very, very good. I don't own my place in Asia. I always rent. I own places in the UK. I own some of these ones that you're looking at here, actually. I've got a couple of houses that I had myself in the early days as well. But the thing is, I could live off $2,300 a month here. My beers cost me about $1.50 US. That's my biggest expense. Around the golf, about $50. Gas in the car, very, very cheap where I live. Kids' education is the most expensive bit. But yeah, I could live off that. So the point is, we easily can achieve life-changing wealth. Going back to these things, you don't have to take the income today, right? You've got 1,800 net coming in. There would be a mortgage, in fact, on the other place, but you use the two 600s that are coming into your bank every month because there's no mortgage on the student places. You use that to pay your mortgage down quick. You probably have your mortgage paid off in about 5 years. Then you've got 1,800 coming in. Use that to buy another one. Use that to buy another one. I can tell you this strategy works, by the way, because I've now got, I'm well on my way to 10, let's say. My portfolio is paying for itself now to get me to 10. I'll be at about 10 places by the time I'm 50, fully paid off. That will pay me, give or take, £5,000 or £6,000 a month in today's money, remember inflation will mean it's much higher than that, without getting out of bed. That's life changing. And that began with one, not three. I'm talking about crypto gets you on the ladder immediately with three. The first one always takes the longest because it's cash out of your own bank. Once you have your mortgage in place, it's cash from your own pocket topping it up. This is life changing, guys. It is life changing. Most people come to me and say, I've got a spare $500 a month. I need to retire in 30 years. This puts you 20 years ahead of the game for that. $500 over 25 years. What's that? 300 payments, $150,000 you'd have back, plus growth on top of the 150,000 in plus growth. You could assume you'd almost double it. So about that, we're talking about a 25-year retirement plan being achieved in one crypto bull. If you tell me that's not life changing, you're crazy. I've just shown you it's life changing, and that's with a tiny amount. I won't go through all these figures. I've been yapping on for 20 minutes already. I try and keep my videos down to about 15 minutes. Take a look at these numbers though. See where you are. See where you are. If you're at that point, 40,000 XRP. That's sorry. Let's do it this way. That's you. That's you. You're coming out with $1 million. Take my fill away from that. If you're at this point, 10,000, you've got double. You've got sorry, I got the number on there, didn't I? You're at $2 million. 5,250, 10,000, $500,000, 20,000 XRP. You've got $1 million. £1 million depends on the currency again. Guys, it is life changing no matter how much you have. 1,600 for my friend that I've had a little chat with. Future value at $50, 80,000, £50, 80,000. That's a deposit on a house, on a great family home. That pays most people's mortgages off, or it gets halfway through your mortgage. That is a life-changing amount of money. For what's $600 cost you today? $800. Don't go to the pub this week. Don't do date night with your wife for the next couple of weeks. You know, don't have that round of golf with the boys. Miss a few ball games. Whatever it is you do to spend money, the clock is ticking on this window, the crypto bull market. I'm never that guy that says go in with more than you can afford. Do not go in with more than you can afford. You'll regret it, I guarantee it. But go in with what you can afford. Prioritize for a couple of weeks. This bull run is happening anytime now. Anytime now. And that price of $50, maybe 6 months, 12 months, 18, 24 months, maybe even 60 months away, 5 years. I don't know. But I know for certain the days of 59 cents are numbered. They are numbered. Skip a few date nights. Throw a couple $100 in. Just, that's a message for everyone out there. I've never bought XRP above 60 cents. I bought it incredible number of times below 60 cents. In fact, I bought the other week. I wanted to top myself up to a new target. I'd already hit my target a while back. I wanted to top myself up to a new target. I hit that target by throwing in a couple $1,000 actually, which I would not normally have done. It's bumped up my average XRP purchase price more than I wanted to. I've always liked to tell everyone my average price was about 42 cents. It's not anymore, it's a bit more. But anything sub $1 is an absolute bargain on this coin. I'm not going to tell you $50 is guaranteed. I can't, I'd be a liar. I don't have a crystal ball. I strongly suspect it is, but I know for a fact anything sub $1 is an absolute bargain. Anything you can get your hands on in the next couple of weeks, couple of months before this thing goes boom, do your best. I won't buy above 60 cents. I've already made that. It's a long time rule in my head. So my bags are as packed as they need to be. I'd like more. If we have another dip, I'll buy a bit more. But in the same respect, that shows you how life-changing it can be. It is life-changing to have 5,000 XRP. Or it will be. It ought to be. I can't guarantee it. Maybe the whole thing goes kaboom. Maybe it turns out the doom and gloom guys, the fudsters were right, and it's all been a huge great scam and it's worth nothing. I don't believe that though, and I don't think you guys are, or you wouldn't have been sat here for 24 minutes. Guys, punch that like button for me, please. I really do appreciate you listening to me for 25 minutes. Ask me any questions you want to ask in the comments. I love comments. I love to respond to comments. It gives me ideas and themes for the next video as well. So if you like what I've got to say, ask me to talk about something in particular, and I'd love to do that for you. Guys, I'm going to go. 25 minutes almost on the clock, so that's too long, really. I apologize for keeping you a bit too long, but I really do appreciate your support. Have a great week ahead. Nice weekend now. It's Friday, so have a nice weekend this weekend. Hopefully, we'll have a bit of a pump on the prices as well, but hopefully, you get in and buy those last few before we do. All the best, guys. Have a great week.